Why does everyone get fit fast while you struggle even though you're putting in the effort? It's not your genetics, it's 10 tiny things that keep you stuck. Things fit people never do and no one ever tells you about. It took me 11 years to figure this out, but today I'm breaking down these 10 things so you can finally lose your next 5 pounds of fat and actually wear your clothes better. Now, what if I told you that healthy food and optimal workouts are the real reason you aren't fit? Because when I stopped all of that, I could finally see my top 2 abs. So 3 years ago, my girlfriend left me for a man who was in far better shape. Since I was jacked years ago, before even becoming a personal trainer, I was confident I could get back in shape much faster this time and start feeling better about myself. So I used every science based hack I knew with my training, with my diet, but barely saw any changes. It was fucking demotivating. I stopped looking for results altogether and I just shifted to using the gym as therapy. I ate the foods I liked, I trained the old way I actually enjoyed. 30 days later, I got back in incredible shape and they had already broken up. Now, fit people, they never do things they don't like doing because imagine waking up at 5 a.m. to do uncomfortable squats that wreck your knees, and right after that, you're gonna force down some bland ass food. This is stupidity, man. Swap the squat for a similar exercise you actually enjoy and is okay on your knees. Eat a tasty chicken burrito, anything that makes you want to kill yourself less, and sleep at a time that fits your body's rhythm. The most perfect, wonderfulest, science based, optimal plan is bullshit. Horse shit. Doing what you actually like is the real secret to staying consistent. You won't be program hopping every 2 weeks. You'll work so much harder because you're actually enjoying it. And that's when the real changes start to show. Now, the problem is most people never make it to the point where they see changes because they make this next big mistake. Now, a few months ago, I was about to film one of these videos, but something really weird had happened. I'd walked into the room and Ishi, the video girl here, who I also coach, she just bursted into tears. I thought her cat died or she dropped the ice cream she was eating. But it turns out that she had stepped on the scale and saw that her weight had gone up by 3 pounds. Now, fit people never panic when they gain 3 pounds. They zoom out because the number on the scale, it is very deceiving, my friend, and it could destroy you mentally. So this is a 1.5 liter of bottle of water. If you were to drink this entirely, you'd put on 1.5 kilo or 3.3 pounds of water weight. Not to mention how dynamic life is. There's stress, hormones, even salt can make you temporarily gain weight, and there's a million things that could just bloat you. I'm also pretty sure at some point in your life, you've taken a shit that's over 10 pounds on one of those cheat days of yours. So the weight is not always fat. Don't let it trick you into thinking you failed. You didn't. Instead, once a week, just prop your phone on any surface, record a quick selfie video from all sides, and use that as your baseline to see if you're progressing or not. And if you want your belly fat to go from this to this, I'll send you 52 ways in 52 days on exactly how to do it for free. Just check the link in the description. Now imagine a world where you could be fit and also eat chocolate at the same time. I spent years stuck in this cycle of quitting sugar, feeling miserable, crawling back to it until I figured out how to eat it every single day and still stay lean. So 9 months ago, my mom was flying back home after working months abroad. I was supposed to pick her up from the airport that morning, but the night before, I discovered the greatest TV show of all time, Friends. Nah, I'm joking, Breaking Bad. And what started as one episode turned into an 8-hour binge fest. I ended up oversleeping. She had to spend $100 on a taxi, and I woke up to a nice slap on my face. If I had chosen to watch a movie instead, I would have avoided all of this because I just watch a 1 hour movie and that's it. Now, when it comes to choosing our desserts and our snacks, the choices we make are critical. Because after dinner, if you were to grab, say, this 720 calorie M&M's packet here, there's a good chance you could binge it all just like the TV show. Fit people never eat straight out of the bag. Everything for them is extremely calculated. They don't just mindlessly snack, and they never give themselves a chance to do that. So instead, grab a small fixed packet of whatever you want that's about 250 to 300 calories max, because it's enough to make you happy without wrecking your progress, and you can't binge on it because it's in a fixed packet, just like how a movie is. Now, if you were to eat something that's 100 calories or something smaller, most people won't be satisfied and they'll have to eat 10 or 20 of those. So find the right balance for you. When you're doing your groceries, read labels and pick options that won't bite you in the ass later, but will actually help you enjoy your diet. Now, if you're someone who feels hungry all the time, I know that staying within your calories can feel like mission impossible. I used to struggle with that too, but this next shift changed everything. It helped keep me full, build muscle whilst losing fat. And if you do it, people are going to start thinking you're an athlete. Now imagine this bag is your stomach, and filling it with protein is like filling it with this pillow. You know, it fills up the whole thing. It's light, it's full, and you're not overpacked. Now carbs, they're like dropping these heavy blocks of wood. They don't take up as much space, but the weight adds up very fast. So protein helps keep you satisfied and full, and carbs don't give you that same fullness. This is not me saying not to eat carbs and fats. You need them for energy and hormones. But fit people never eat a meal that doesn't have at least 30 grams of protein. Now, 30 grams of protein could look in so many different ways. 120 grams of cooked chicken breast, 130 grams of cooked lean ground beef, 1 large can of tuna, or 5 large eggs. And if you struggle to hit your protein, just know that you can always try to gradually build it up over time. You don't have to do exactly 1 gram, 2 grams. Take it easy and build up slowly. Now, something tells me that you are a perfectionist, the all or nothing kind of person. It is sometimes a good quality, but when it comes to fat loss, it wrecked my ass until I learned how to control it and use it as a superpower to lose even more fat. So a few months ago, I got back into shape right after doing surgery. But I still wasn't happy. I felt a bit scrawny, so I wanted to get bigger. So I told myself, let's do a quick bulk, and naturally I ended up eating out, cheating once, twice, and then 90 more times in a single month. Cheat meals are great, man, but imagine you do your 10,000 steps every day for a week. You go to the gym, you eat less, you hold back on the things you want, you end up creating a 2,000 calorie deficit. 2 cheat meals can so easily put all your effort in the garbage. You can have anything you want, but you can't have everything you want. Fit people never have more than 1 cheat meal a week. A weekly cheat meal won't harm your progress, because to put on 1 pound of fat, you need to eat an extra 3,500 calories on top of your maintenance calories, which is a fucking lot unless you're a dog like me. So have your cheat meal, don't feel guilty about it, and don't let it turn into a whole bad week for you. Now, if you struggle to stay disciplined and you always end up in a chain of binge eating, as you saw, I've been there, it's not that you have a discipline problem. There's just one adjustment you need that will make you actually stay consistently losing fat on track. This is Michael Santos. At 22 years old, he watched Scarface and thought the fast cars and money and power looked like success. But 2 years later, he was arrested for trafficking cocaine and was sentenced to 45 years in prison. Instead of surrounding himself with criminals and hate, he chose to surround himself with books. He created a whole new environment inside the prison cell. He was waking up early, reading, writing, and educating himself every single day. He walked out 26 years later, completely unrecognizable and determined to help others rebuild their lives too. This just goes to show how powerful and influential your environment is. Fit people are extremely careful of who and where they spend their time with. If you're always meeting friends who don't give a shit about their health, they just want to drink, party, and have fun, or your house is loaded with junk food, the closest people around you tempt you 24/7, then being fit, my friend, is going to be extremely difficult for you. So audit your circle and spend more time with the people who live how you want to live. If you have $100 to spend, don't join my online coaching program. Go join a jiu-jitsu gym if you need to. It'll change your life. Just be around people who are working and striving to just be better versions of themselves. Now, if your kitchen looks like a fucking vending machine, you're dead before you even start. Just throw out all the junk and keep high protein food ready. Make your house look like it belongs to Chris Hemsworth. Now, why do people always start super strong but burn out 2 weeks into it? If I had a penny for every time that happened to me, I'd have a lot of pennies. But after making this next shift, I was finally able to stay consistent for years, never burn out, and actually see my love handles go away. So about 10 years ago, I bought a saxophone and I set this big goal for myself to be able to play See You Again perfectly in just 30 days. I lasted 10 days and I ended up selling it. But 5 years later, I bought it again, except this time, the goal I set was to just play it for 20 minutes a day. And within 3 weeks, I had the most beautiful moment when I played See You Again for my girlfriend, which is not the best choice because she left me shortly after. Now, fit people never focus on outcome-based goals. They focus on the action-based goals, things you need to do to get those outcomes. Because while outcome-based goals sound sexy, lose 10 kilos, abs, if you don't see progress fast enough, you'll end up quitting. But if you focus on these specific tasks, 10,000 steps, going to the gym 3 times a week, hitting your protein target, then you start winning every single day. You don't need to wait months to feel progress. You feel it daily through what you do. So I know it's hard. Don't chase the results. Chase the reps you need to do. The results will always follow. Now, do you ever wonder why some days, even though you ate well, you're still so hungry? Well, that was happening to me, but it turns out there is a secret culprit behind this. And once you catch it, sticking to your diet gets so much easier. Now, I hate to show this side of myself to you, but 5 years ago, my best friend's girlfriend did him really dirty. And naturally, we got drunk and I ended up drawing a star on her car. Now, sober me did end up paying to repaint that, and I had to say sorry to them and all that. And I haven't drank alcohol ever since. Now, why am I telling you this? Because just like how when we're drunk, we make poor choices. And when you don't sleep well, you are doing the exact same. Because if you sleep, say, 5 hours, hormonally, you're hungrier, moodier, weaker in the gym, and much more likely to overeat based on countless studies. Fit people never get less than 7 hours of sleep. So aim to be in bed at least 8 to 9 hours if you can before the time you need to wake up. Avoid using your phone because the blue light from your phone literally tricks your brain into thinking it's daytime. So your sleep hormone melatonin never kicks properly because of these fucking lights. And keep your room cold, dark, comfortable, and you'll just wake up with so much more energy, a better attitude to make all the right choices for the day. Now, why do people still struggle even though they're working out, eating clean, and sleeping well? It's because they're sleeping on the number one fat loss habit that helps you get leaner without eating less, or even breaking a sweat. So, exactly 1 year ago, I almost had a near death experience. So, 3 hours before my flight, I was about to go on holiday. I was just getting some last minute errands done. As I was driving home, my car's brakes malfunctioned. It wasn't working. Luckily, I had enough space to safely stop and make it in time for my flight. Now, I didn't have my car with me for almost a month, but then something weird started happening. So many people kept asking me, "Have you been working out? Have you been dieting?" When in fact, it was kind of the opposite. Until one day, I stepped on the scale and I saw that I'd lost 3 pounds of fat, even though I hadn't even gone to the gym. And then it hit me. My step count had almost tripled since I didn't have my car. You see, fit people never stay sedentary. They're always moving. So try to zoom out, look at your day-to-day life and see where you can slip in even just a 20-minute walk. See where you can choose to be more active. I'm thinking of getting a cycle and just cycling everywhere instead of driving around in traffic. You'll kill two birds in one stone, transport and exercise. Now, even though walking and cycling and all this stuff might be low intensity, you won't feel it, but 10,000 steps a day will burn 500 calories. And man, that adds up to a lot of fat loss over time. So instead of resisting foods you love, instead of eating less, just walk more, actually enjoy your diet, and they're so good for you mentally. I can't tell you how much stupid shit I didn't do in my life because I just walked it off. By never doing what we just spoke about, getting fit, lean is going to be easy for you. But the truth is, 90% of people who do get fit, they end up back to where they started. Now, that won't happen to you if you just really let this sink in. Shit is never going to be perfect. You're going to meet people, cheat on your diet 1,000 times, skip the gym. It just won't be a priority because of life, man. There's more important things. Your relationships, productivity, work. You can't always make it a priority, and that's fine. Fit people never seek perfection. They seek consistency and they expect chaos and then they adapt to that chaos. So no matter how chaotic life gets, set a bare minimum baseline of what you should always do. You can stay fit, working out even just once a week, doing 4,000 steps a day, and eating even half your protein intake. Think of yourself like a car. Sometimes you need to slow down, brake, and sometimes you need to cruise along, and sometimes you need to step on the gas and really accelerate. But the moment you stop the engine completely, that's when it takes the most effort to start again. Now, the real reason you struggle to lose fat isn't because you're failing your diets, your workouts, or your sleep. It's because you fail at the grocery store. So in this video, I'll show you exactly what to buy so you can lose your next 5 pounds of fat without feeling like you're dieting, and it'll change your life forever.